Hello everyone, welcome to Crazy Geeks and it's me Roshan Shrestha. On today's session we'll be talking about private and public access specifier in object-oriented programming. I believe you guys were able to enjoy the concept of class and object in our previous video. If you haven't still checked those videos, make sure to play around with that. Let's begin writing the program by writing class definition. Let me write one class named as test. In our previous video we have written something like public, then string name and integer is, and there were some methods like, let's say, void display and cout, enter the name and is, scene name and is, and let's display it by writing something like name is this one and is the value of is. So far so good. This is our class definition. Now let's create an object. Test tobj dot display. Let's build and run this program. Enter the name and age. Let's say test is the name and age is 22. Name is test, age is 22. Now let's try to subdivide this into two methods by writing input as a method to handle the user input and output for displaying the content. Name is this much. Now we'll be obviously writing something like tobj dot input and tobj dot output. Let's build and run this program. At first we're creating an object, then making a function call to function input. Name is Arson, age is, let's say, 25, name equals this much and age equals this much. Then we're making a function call to output. Name is this much and age is this much will be displayed. Okay, up to this point there is no problem on playing around with this concept. Now whenever we are populating the data members and member functions is public, it means it's accessible from outside the class as well. That's why we're able to make these function calls. Now let's say on some part of our program we are accessing the value of name and changing it to something like this one, demo contents. Enter the name, let's say Arson, then age is 22, but the output is going to be quite unexpected from the point of view of the user, because they are entering something like Arson and 22 but getting output is name is demo contents and age is 22. This is because we have placed these informations inside public, which is accessible from anywhere in your program, and that could be changed. So what's the solution? This is where the concept of private access specifier fits in. Let's try removing this public. Now we haven't written any access specifier. So is it okay to run this program? Nope. This one is private, this one is private, and all those stuff, which implies everything is private by default, because if we didn't write any access specifier, then it means the access is not open. So whatever you need to make accessible, place it inside public, and all the information you need to avoid the access from outside the class, you place it under private. Now in this case, these data members are not accessible from outside the class, but are only accessible from the member functions within the class itself only. Now let's again try to execute this program. The name is test22, name is test, age is 22. Now when you try to access it and change from the outside area of the class, you can't change it because these information are populated within the private. Private means that is not accessible from outside the class. That's why whenever you need to play around with the concept of class and object, normally you place the data members under private and member functions under public. The trick is to access all these data members by using the functions. These objects are making a function call to these functions, and from these functions you are accessing these informations like name and age. And these are the access specifiers you'll be playing around with most of the time, private and public. There is another one as well termed as protected. Protected is very much used whenever you are playing around with the concept of inheritance. Right now we won't be discussing about the inheritance. It's pretty much similar to private from the security point of view. Let's not go there. Before wrapping up this session, private means these informations are accessible from inside the functions within the class, but are not accessible from outside the class. Whatever stuffs are populated inside the public will be accessible from outside the class. Normally, data members inside private and methods are populated inside public. Okay guys, I hope now you have some good idea regarding class and object and how and why you use the private and public access specifiers. I'll be catching you guys in the next video with some more interesting stuff. If you still haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe and share and hit that awesome bell icon as well. I'll be catching you guys in the next video. Till then, have a good time. Take care. Bye bye.